How to learn the right way. Hey, Decide Your Destiny crew, Carl Spirides here. Thanks for joining me for another Decide Your Destiny daily dose. Decide how to learn the right way. There is a right and wrong way, folks. Regardless of what you're told, regardless of all the mummy coddling or whatever it is that kind of has you thinking that everything is just neutral and there's no right or wrong or up or down, or there is a right or wrong, and there's definitely a right or wrong. I'm not saying for everything, but there's a right or wrong in this universe for learning. And when you get to learning, you get to unlearning, and you get to seeing wow. And when you get on a good track of learning the right information, you go, wow, what nonsense was I operating on before? What was my old operating system? What was my, I didn't actually get a update on my operating system. It was back at operating 2.0. So that's what you really learn. And it's interesting to think about why maybe educational systems that we've all come through don't work as well as they could. And one of the reasons I heard, which is great, was that you really need like a mentor. You need like a mastermind. You need like one person for maybe one other person or for a couple other people. Otherwise, you just have this one teacher, this one person who's got this catalog of 200 students underneath him in different classes, in different groups. And how much of his skill can he give to that student? That's the question. That's what we're operating with. So that's a real good thing to think about. Why didn't I learn this? Why didn't I learn that? The schools were, you look at common schools and how they were set up. They weren't really set up for us all to be brilliant, remarkable entrepreneurs, shooting for the stars, shooting for other planets. They weren't necessarily set up for that. And one of the reasons they weren't is because we didn't have that mentor that was years and years ahead. That teacher might not have been that person that was already achieving great things in their life. And we didn't get as close access to them. So there's a few principal elements of learning the right way. And one of them is to go wide to sift. So it's kind of like when you're panning for gold. You're going wide, so you've got all this water, all this information, all this rubbish, all this misinformation, all this bad, data, whatever it is. You've got all this sludge. Think about your day to day, how many notifications that come up on your phone, all the sludge that you got to work through, okay? And then you sift, like someone who's panning for gold in the river, and you sift for those gold nuggets, those bits of information that are really going to change your life, that you can implement in your life, and all of a sudden you can be better with your spouse, you can be better with your family, you can be better in your business. It can spark a new idea, but an idea that you actually fulfill on. So that's what it's about. Going wide, looking at all right, I tried that, tried a bit of that, tested that, none of that worked. Oh wow, this is the gold nugget. And then you go wide to sift, and then you go deep to mine. So you go deep into the person. So there might be a mentor who's incredible, a mentor who is like, wow, every bit of his information is making me unlearn the old ways. I'm practicing his new ways or her new ways of teaching me this information. And now all of a sudden I'm getting it. Now all of a sudden I'm actually making tracks. I'm actually succeeding. I'm seeing the payoff in my life. So that's where you want to go deep. You go wide to sift, you go deep to mine the gold, mine the diamonds, mine all the brilliance that person has to give by going deep into their material. Rather than reading a book on every person in the world, you find one person that you really, really have been able to learn and implement a lot of great things from, and you read their 11 books or their 3 books, or you read their articles, whatever it is. So that's really an incredible tip that I've found that has worked well for me in my life. It definitely more on the latter end. And another thing that I heard recently, so this was someone else talking about it, but it was saying how they were highlighting books and they realized the books that they were highlighting, like as great as that is, they were just highlighting things they agreed with. So a way to change this would be to highlight the things that you disagree with. What are the things that irk you? What are the things that irritate you, upset you, make you cringe? What are those things? Because when you learn what those things are and then you dive deep into why, that's going to teach you so much more. And if you think about learning, to learn something that you don't agree with, or can maybe, I don't agree with this because this is my principles and morals and my ethics, and that's why I don't agree with it, great. But to learn something, like to look at what you're highlighting, not just what you agree with, but maybe what you disagree with, helps you to get out of your cognitive bias. which helps you to get out of the day-to-day mundane. You know, for a lot of people, for me, more and more recently, my days have felt totally different. They felt like I'm on different planets. You know, it's just incredible. But I spend hours every single day learning and then implementing that learning and training and testing myself in all sorts of different areas. And, you know, and I try that every single day, and it's hard. Of course it's hard, it's challenging. Being a creature of comfort and doing the same thing day in, day out can be easier, but to me, I don't know, to me that seems harder or not as rewarding. But when you do something like you highlight the things you don't agree with, you know, there's so many people. I've gone to dinner recently, and you meet people, and they're so sensitive. You know, they're all happy-go-lucky, and then all of a sudden, if there's like a topic or a bit of information that they strongly don't disagree with, they can't handle it. They can't even have a conversation. They can't even communicate. They can't even discuss it. They can't even, you know, see maybe they can learn something from it. And I see that a lot in today's day. So what you want to do is to break out of the day-to-day and your day feeling the same as the past day, is to break that cognitive bias, learn some new data, learn some new information, learn something that's actually going to break you out of your zombie-like sedation and get you to go, wow, let me try this, let me do that, let me maybe change my thinking this way. Maybe that thing of my family not contacting me and woe is me is not what I should be doing with my time on this earth. Maybe I should contact them. You know, maybe I'm the one that was sent here in the family to contact them, and I just have to deal with that. You know, so there's so many things that you can learn, but you've got to be able to move your environment, move yourself into the space of learning. And a big part of that is to not just look for everything you agree with, because there's going to be a lot of things that you don't agree with that are going to give you tools that will better your life. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Go out there, learn the right way. Unfortunately, a lot of us have not been taught the right way to learn, or haven't been equipped for the current chaotic world, or the world that's changing so fast. You know, you look at something like people that go and get a degree, and by the time they leave and they've got that piece of paper, that shiny piece of paper, that job is no longer a job. So it's really crucial that we learn how to learn. Don't mean any offense. Hope I didn't ruffle too many feathers, but let's make sure that we all get together, we all learn how to learn, and learn how to help each other along the way, okay? Hope you enjoyed this one. Share it around for anyone else you think this would resonate with. This might help someone who's stuck in their cognitive bias, their cave of their cognitive biases, whatever it is. Share it around with anyone else you think may appreciate this. And as always, remember, decide your destiny. Cheers.
How do we get so small? Thinking back at those good old days when we were more than a shade of gray.